listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, here we go.
All right, thank you so much, Lexi. Outer Banks This Week podcast. Hello, everyone. My goodness gracious. It is cold. Oh my gosh, is it cold? But hey, Outer Banks This Week podcast, all brought to you by Kelly Automotive in Manteo. I went by there the other day. Have not seen Kelly. I've gone by, I've seen Dakota. I've seen some of Kelly's youngins that work there, but I haven't seen Kelly. Went by there just yesterday. I'm recording this podcast on a Wednesday, by the way. Wednesday, what's today? The 28th. And I went by there yesterday. Hadn't seen him in forever. And I walked in and I was like, there is that burly, beautiful man. Of course, I didn't say that to him. You know, I thought it when I walked in the door. And it was funny because I walked in and I kind of, you know, there was some dirt on the bottom of my feet. And he looked at me and he looked at my feet. He looked back at me and he's like, there's a rug right there. You could have wiped your feet before you came in. And I was like, whoa, bro. But I mean, that's just the kind of relationship he and I have. But I love me some Kelly. Great guy, proud sponsor of the podcast, and I couldn't be more thankful to have him. I was talking to him yesterday, and he was just talking about all the different cars and things that he has on his lot that he's ready to move. I mean, cars, trucks, SUVs. He's got a lot of work vans and work vehicles. He's got sheds. He's got greenhouses. Yes, I confirmed that with him yesterday because I told him, I said, I've been talking about these greenhouses on the podcast. That is what they are. He's like, oh, yeah, they're greenhouses. I was like, okay, I'm just making sure because I'm not good at much, but I am good at screwing things up, and I am good at being in the way. At least, you know, that's what I'm told. So with that being said, I had to make sure that was all clear. And he said yes. He's ready to move product, y'all. He's ready to move inventory. He's ready to put you in a vehicle. He's ready to wrap you in one. He's ready to wrap you in a shed. He's ready to do whatever he's got to do to get you the vehicle that you're looking for. And again, if you're looking around his lot and you're not exactly seeing what you want, man, Kelly will go out and find it for you. He's good at that sort of thing. He, Dakota, the whole crowd over there at Kelly Automotive, happy to help you. Check him out online at kellysobxauto.com. Then again, you got to have somebody powering this vessel. And I couldn't think of a better partner to help power this vessel of the Outer Banks This Week podcast than Outer Banks Pest Control. Now, fun fact, and I know I've mentioned this in the past, but Kelly at Kelly Auto and Jesse over at Outer Banks Pest Control, they're husband and wife. Yes, like the power couple of Manteo. Love it. But Jesse, again, sweetest person you'll ever meet in your life. Super kind, very, very nice and sweet. But she's tough on those varmints, y'all. She does not care about those varmints, those critters, those creepy crawlies. She wants them out of your life. Now, whether that be by annihilation or by relocation, you know, they do have a heart over there at Outer Banks Pest Control for some of those critters. But then I'm going to be honest, I've never heard anybody say, oh, will you come catch these roaches and like relocate them back out in the wild? I've never said, no one ever. Nobody's ever said that. Okay. Jesse and her crowd over there at Outer Banks Pest Control are ready to eradicate those little suckers. All right. Check them out online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. Okay. Wonderful folks over there. Wonderful folks. Woo. Hey, you know what? We dodged a bullet last week. We dodged a bullet. I know that I was talking about, Snowbx, and that was the title of last week's podcast. Well, this week's is Snowbx 2.0. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that because the forecast models for this weekend are looking worse than last weekend. So as the week progressed, and see, I recorded the podcast a little earlier in the week last week. And I was looking at the forecast models and was like, oh gosh, we're going to get snow. I don't want snow. I don't like snow. It's good for a day. Let the kids play in it. And then I want to wake up the next day and it be melted and gone. You know, that's how I feel about snow. I don't completely hate it, but I'm not a huge fan. Not a huge fan at all. So that being said, I waited till a few days later in the podcast to record the show. And as of this moment on Wednesday, let's take a look and see what this weekend looks like. Because, again, there's a low system that's supposed to spin up off the coast. And according to what I'm reading, Saturday, watching potential winter storm. Windy, cloudy with rain and snow. High 39, winds north-northeast, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation, 90%. Now, you go on over to Sunday. Sunday, still watching this storm. Periods of snow with gusty winds, high near 30. Winds northwest 25 to 35. Chance of snow 80%, accumulating 1 to 3 inches. That right there. Again, they're not really backing off of this model anymore. See, last week after I recorded the podcast, they started backing off of it a little bit. Oh, it's going to get warmer closer to the beach. It's going to get a little bit warmer. It's still going to be cold, but it's not going to be cold enough for any sort of snow. This model this week is not backing off. It's not, and we just got to hunker down. I mean, I've already been looking at like going to the grocery store here in the next day or so and just kind of getting myself ready so I don't have to leave the house. I can go outside. I'm trying to get all the laundry done. I'm trying to get everything done around my house. So that way, when the kids wake up on Saturday or Sunday or whatever, we have the largest accumulations of snow, they can go out and play in it. You know what I mean? They can go out and play in it. I hate it for some of my friends that are traveling, though. So my buddy, Mr. Adam, lives up there in the Edinburgh, Chesapeake area. You've heard me talk about him before. He and I, we talk. I mean, dude, we text probably once every other day. Honestly, that's a true story. And he was telling me he's got to fly out to Pittsburgh. And it's like, he's like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to fly out. Who knows what's going to happen, you know? And I mean, he's dreading it too. He and I are in the same boat. We're not crazy about snow. We're okay with it, but we're not super crazy about it. And I think about my parents. My parents are supposed to be hopping on a plane for Costa Rica. Yeah. How cool is that? Gosh. Here we are in the frozen tundra. And my parents are jumping on a plane to go to Costa Rica. But my mom and dad they're not really freaking out, but they're trying to rearrange their travel plans because they're supposed to leave Sunday. I think they're going to try to leave a little earlier than that now. And then I was talking to a friend of mine who's actually in Puerto Rico right now. And she was like, oh, it's 80 degrees down here. I'm sitting on the beach. And I'm like, when will you be back? She's like, oh, I'll be back Thursday. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the Arctic Dome. Yeah, we're getting, I mean, again, you hear me complaining. I know it's wintertime. I know this is kind of in a lot of ways what to expect. But again, I'm just trying to give y'all an idea of what is potentially going to happen this weekend. Now, are we going to get snow? Odds are, yes, we are. How much? That's still yet to be determined. I remember Jeremy Wheeler out of Wavy 10 one year. He said, oh, the Outer Banks, like they're going to get 3 to 5 inches in the Hampton Roads area, but the Outer Banks is going to get a light dusting. I remember waking up the next morning and there was 8 inches on my porch. I took a picture of a measuring stick on my porch, sent it to him, and I was like, yeah, light dusting, huh? And that was another thing. Weathermen. Mr. Adam and I were talking about that. They get paid to guess. I mean, I know that they have like scientific measurements and they go to meteorology school or whatever it's called, weather school. But at the same time, it's like, man, like they get paid to guess. And I mean, I guess 85% of the time, they're pretty accurate with their guesses. Okay. I mean, I wish I got, if I 85% of my job correctly, I wouldn't have a job. They want my job, want me to do it 100% of it correctly all day, every day. So you get what I'm saying, though. Anyway, we could talk for hours about this stuff. Looking at what's going on, coming up, there's lots of fun activities that are going to be coming up here in the near future. Again, I know people are thinking, oh, man, it's wintertime on the Outer Banks. No, I mean, yeah, it is. But there's still so many individuals out there in our community that are pouring back in to give people things to do. And they encourage you. It's not just for the locals. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, this is only for the locals. Oh, the locals are the only ones that are going to, we're doing this for the local community. Well, yeah, I mean, they are. But at the same time, like, come down and enjoy yourself. There's still stuff to do on the Outer Banks in the wintertime. And I'm going to talk more about that here in just a few moments. We're going to take a quick break, though. And when we come back, we're going to jump into the events calendar and see what's crack-a-lacking here in the next few weeks.
Insurance is complicated, but it really doesn't have to be. Dare County Farm Bureau has been serving the Outer Banks for over 60 years. What you will find at Dare County Farm Bureau is an insurance agent relationship with Mark Tillett, June Jordan, Joel Gretsch, Jeremy Tillett, Ryan Mills, and myself, Clint Godwin. Give us a call today at 252-473-2119 or try us online at ncfb.com. At Dare County Farm Bureau, we're always here for our friends and neighbors. Helping you is what we do best.
Step back to 1929 at Passions and Prohibition, the Pioneer Theater's hottest Valentine's speakeasy on February 13th and 14th. Under a swanky heated tent in the garden, sip champagne, dine on sumptuous fare, and sway to live jazz all night. Try your luck at craps, roulette, Texas Hold'em, or blackjack. Make it a weekend. Special room packages are available at the Pearl and the Manio House. Dress sharp, whisper the secret password, and make this Valentine's an unforgettable night of romance, rhythm, and roaring fun at Passions and Prohibition. See, there you go. One thing that you can do over Valentine's Day weekend. You can do it on either Friday night, the 13th, or Saturday, the 14th. Okay? That's the thing. There's something you can do. And I know that was part of the podcast, my extended part of the podcast last week. My part 2 edition was Passions and Prohibition. But there you go. If you haven't booked your tickets, thepioneertheater.com. Go ahead and get on it, okay? And if you're in the market for insurance, you need to talk to my guy, Clint Godwin. Dude, Clint Godwin, he takes me to another level. Like, I thought that I was already like jacked up on a super high all the time, but Clint Godwin is 10 times up. He's 10 times higher than I am, like as far as just energy and passion and just out there in there being a part of. Like, I thought I had it. I thought I was pretty good at it, but then that guy showed up on the scene and he was like, "Come on, big stud. Let's go. Get some." And I'm like, man, I love me. Again, he's in your face, and he is an energetic guy. I love me some Clint Godwin, and he'd be happy to write your insurance, whether home, auto, whatever, life insurance. I mean, he's got all my insurance. So, I trust him. I trust that guy with my life. I would get in a foxhole with him any day of the week. So, Passions and Prohibition and Clint Godwin, the 1-2 punch of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Well, no, it'd be Kelly Automotive, Outer Banks Pest Control, Passions, Prohibition, and Farm Bureau. The 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. Almost a 5-finger death punch. All right, we're going to stop while we're behind. Let's take a look at some events coming up in the near future. Let's take a look at this weekend. Looking ahead this weekend, let's see, Friday, January 30th, you got some entertainment going on at the Jolly Roger. Some guy named Joel. He's really popular. That dude's picked up a lot of steam. And, of course, Hot Sauce is going to be there a little bit later on in the evening. Some guy named Joel, he's going to start at around 5. And then you've got Hot Sauce and DJs on to carry on through the rest of the night over there. But then there's OBX. There's silent disco going on at Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint in Kill Devil Hills. I need to check in with Mr. Rodriguez over there and see how he's doing this winter, man. Because he's actually getting ready to start up like I want to say it is a locals night, honestly. Like, you got to have a local ID, and you get a percentage off. I think it's Monday nights. I'll double check on all of that. But really looking forward to all the energy and all the fun that's going to be happening at Jack Brown's this coming year. So Jonas Hurd, not to be confused with the Jonas Brothers, is going to be at Buffalo City Distillery from 6 until 9 on Friday, January 30th. That's right over there in Point Harbor, just across the bridge in Currituck. So lots of things going on. Now, I guess weather pending, I don't know. There's still things happening on Saturday, like the chili cook-off that's happening at Buffalo City Distillery in Point Harbor. That's going to start at 1 o'clock. And it appears as if it's $15 to be a taster. And I guess you get to go around and taste and judge on, people's choice kind of thing. So visit their website for more information. You can go to buffalocitydistillery.com and check them out. But yeah, a chili cook-off looks phenomenal. And who doesn't love a good chili cook-off? I'm actually going to tell you about another one coming up here in just a little bit that you're going to want to mark your calendars for. Looking ahead again, you got trivia at Jolly Rogers with Jody. Singo at Juan Cheese Marina on Saturday evening starting at 6. You've got Snack Bar Jones. Snack Bar Jones? I never heard of them. Anyway, Snack Bar Jones is going to be playing at the Jolly Rogers this coming Saturday starting at 8 o'clock. So there's some things going on that you may want to participate in. Oh, gosh, looking on into next week, we've got trivia at Jack Brown's on Monday evening starting at 6 o'clock, and I believe that's also going to be their first, locals night, so something to think about. You're in the mood for a burger. Then, go ahead on into Wednesday. You got trivia with me at McGrath's Burger Shack every Wednesday night starting at 6. You know it's going to be a good time when you come and do it with me. All right, Greg Smerdell does a good job. Miss Amy that works, we all work under Greg's umbrella, and I'm happy to do it. Greg Smerdell's provided me with some great opportunities here lately. I love that guy a lot. So, but dude, I like to party, and I like it when people party with me. If you don't believe me when I say we have a good time at McGrath's Burger Shack at 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights, ask Team Clueless. Ask the Flounders. Ask Team Manio City. Yeah, a little shout out to my boy Wipey there. Ask the Old Nags. We have a good, these are all teams that come and play with me. We have a fun time. It's always a fun time at McGrath's Burger Shack. Okay. Looking ahead, let's go on into next Friday, the February 6th. We're into the month of February. Can you believe that? Into the month of February already. I mean, dude, it feels like we just rang in the new year. Anyway, we digress. There's going to be stuff going on next Friday, February 6th at New Vines. The Bar Cats duo is going to be there. It's going to be, they don't really do First Friday in the wintertime in downtown Manio, but it's still like, I guess, a kind of a First Friday-ish kind of thing going on in downtown Manio. But definitely want to make sure you're down walking around, checking out Poor Richard's, checking out the tavern, checking out Ortega's. There's so many great things that you can do in downtown Manio over the weekend. Just don't forsake it just because it's not called First Friday right now. I think the official First Friday is in like April. I have to double check that with some of the town officials and the ones over at the because the actual First Friday is hosted by the Dare Arts Council in downtown Manio. So keep that in mind. Looking though, like, yeah, my guy, look, music bingo at Lost Colony Tavern Saturday evening starting at 6 with Greg Smurdell. Definitely going to be a good time. Greg's a fun guy. He's a super fun guy. Now we're starting to get into some Valentine's type things. Sunday, February 8th at NC Coast is Galentine's Brunch right there in Duck. Let's see, what time does it start? Oh, it's Sunday, February 8th from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Yes, festive brunch boards from around the world and bubblies. Romantic decor, live music, champagne. Adults, $48 a piece. That's actually pretty reasonable for what you're going to be getting. Not even kidding, because I mean, West Step, he's like the top of the mark when it comes to chefing it up on the Outer Banks, and that's no joke. He's been doing it since the 80s. If you get an opportunity to go back and hear the podcast, I did it. God, it wasn't last year. It was like the year before. I did a podcast with him. I can't think of the number right now, but he tells his story, and it's really good. It's a really good story about how he got here to the Outer Banks from West by God, Virginia. So, yeah, but that's, again, Galentine's Brunch, NC Coast in Duck, starting at 10:30 on Sunday, February 8th. And I know he's going to be doing one more at least. Again, let's look. Oh, hey, now this is something I'm excited about personally. I did trivia night at Oceana's Bistro in Avon a couple Tuesday nights back in the month of December. I'm getting ready to do them again. February 10th is the first one. Mark your calendars. February 10th, 6 o'clock. If you're going to be down on Hatteras Island, make sure you come down and check that out, okay? There's lots of fun is going to be had because, you know, it's me. I'm going to do it. So that's just how that works. When you do trivia nights with me, guaranteed to have fun. I know I sound like a broken record, but here's another thing. And I'm going to turn out for this. High Cotton, brand new client here at Outer Banks this week. Their grand opening, their 2026 grand opening is going to be on Thursday, February 12th, starting, and, you know, they open at 11 a.m. that day. I'm going to go up there and grab myself a bite. Come eat with me. I'm going to be promoting this over the next few weeks. I encourage you to come up and eat with me and hang out. I'm going to bring my microphone with me. I'm going to interview some people. I'm going to talk to Mr. Matt, the owner, super nice guy. So I will encourage you to come up to High Cotton for their grand opening on Thursday, their season grand opening. There we go. For 2026. And we'll talk to Mr. Matt and see how things are going for him up there on that day. Because again, it's High Cotton. Walking in High Cotton. I'm not going to try to sing because I don't own the rights to the song. So there we go. At least I said that, because if I don't, somebody will be like, oh, he was singing a song on the podcast and he didn't ask permission. Well, don't own the rights to the song. There we go. There's so many different things. Again, go to OuterBanksThisWeek.com, click on the events tab, and you can scroll through and see them all. The live music, the trivia nights, the music bingos, all the different activities. You can see them all in their entirety, OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Let's go ahead and look at an event that's going to be happening on Sunday, March 1st. Sunday, March 1st, 1 o'clock at McGrath's Burger Shack in Nags Head. They're going to be doing a chili cook-off fundraiser to benefit the Dare Education Foundation, okay? I'm going to be helping host it all, and I really would like it if you all would make plans to attend, whether you enter your chili in the contest or you come out and you support the cause. Okay, that's the one thing about Chris and Ashley McGrath that I really love. They are some wonderful people. They got a great restaurant. They got great food. I had lunch there with my buddy Barbecue Mike the other day, and my buddy Mr. Keegan. Y'all know them from Carolina Barbecue Company, Highway 64 in Mania. Had lunch there at McGrath's with them the other day, and the food is fantastic. But Chris and Ashley really do their best to find ways to give back to the local community. And I think they're some wonderful folks, and I love them a lot. So March 1st, it's a Sunday, March 1st, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's after church. It's after church. Get out of church. You can come in your church clothes. Come be part of the chili cook-off, enter it, or be a taster, and support the Dare Education Foundation. Wonderful group of individuals that pour back money back into our students, our teachers, our administration, and they also help provide teacher housing here locally in Dare County. Okay, wonderful, wonderful group. More to come on that, but go ahead and mark your calendars for March 1st. Okay, 1 o'clock, chili cook-off, McGrath's Burger Shack, Nag's Head. Got it? Got it. Okay. All right, that's really kind of the long and short of it for this week of the podcast. Again, snow on its way. Not thrilled. But it is what it is. It's wintertime on the Outer Banks. It's been cold. It's going to stay cold. And hopefully we'll see some warming trends as we get closer to springtime. Okay. I like my seasons. Don't get it twisted. But goodness gracious, I'm cool with wintertime temps in the 40s at night and 50s during the day. You know, I guess, as I've gotten older, it's man, I get less and less crazy about cold weather. My wife will be watching on the weekend sometimes those HGTV shows like Beachfront Bargain Hunt or whatever. And they're always we're in Puerto Rico and we've got the so-and-so family looking for a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath with a swimming pool right by the ocean. And I'm like, man, must be nice. But then it's that would be nice, honestly. So anyway, we just got to kind of roll with the punches with what's coming this weekend. So hunker down. I'm going to do that. Again, Outer Banks This Week podcast, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio and online at kellysobxauto.com, and all powered by Outer Banks Pest Control and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. I am going to head on out of here and go bundle up. I saw some cool recipes floating around on Instagram. I started following this one guy. I can't remember. It's Giovanni's Deli or something. And he's time to make a sandwich. If it's got the fresh mozzarella, forget about it. If it doesn't bleed milk, it's not fresh. Send it back. So he gave me some good recipe ideas for some things to fix because the Royal Rumble's this weekend, WWE Royal Rumble. So I'm going to try to cook up some stuff and watch the Rumble while I watch the snow come down outside. So anyway, all right, enough about that. I'm out of here. Have yourself a great, wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see y'all again next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another epic edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Follow us on social media and be sure to listen every Thursday for a new episode.